Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the TikTok channel. My name is Wesley. Today, I'm reviewing a movie I just saw for the first time the other night, Spirited Away. This is often considered one of the greatest animated movies of all time. It comes from Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and it's directed by classic auteur director Hayao Miyazaki. Just so you all know, I post reviews once a week or so, and I mostly review newer movies, but sometimes I review older ones like this. So if you want to watch more, just hit follow. I'm pretty chill. I think one of the reasons why this movie has stood the test of time as one of the all-time great animated movies is because of just the richness overall in its plot, like its storytelling and its characters, but also in the world that is created. And that's not even mentioning the excellence in animation, the use of color, like the artistry and the illustrations. It's mesmerizing. So the story follows a young girl called Chihiro and her parents as they stumble across a mysterious, what seems like theme park, but ends up actually being a place where ancient spirits rest and a lot of monsters and also some humans. It's just this highly imaginative world where humans are actually not the ones in charge. It's actually the spirits and these weird monsters. And Chihiro has to escape and find a way to save her parents, who have been turned into pigs because of how they saw all this food that was left out for the spirits, and they got turned into pigs. There's this whole thing about gluttony. It sounds weird when I explain it, but when you watch the movie, it makes a lot more sense. I really like the momentum that this story has. I feel like you're always bumping into something new. There's always some sort of new creative idea, whether it's a monster or a spirit or a new production area or a new set or setting. New characters evolve and change throughout. I think there's just always something that builds upon itself. The movie never stays stagnant. It's always moving forward creatively. And I think that is a big reason why you can just easily be entertained by this movie. There's always something new for your eye to look at. And also Chihiro, the main character, is insanely likable. She starts off as this scared, insecure kid who relies on her parents too much, and she is afraid to go out there and be herself. But then she has to be in a position where she actually has to save her parents. She can't rely on them anymore. So she has to learn how to be brave. And I thought that her character has a very, very sweet arc. And she's so likable. She's very kind. She's flawed, but she overcomes her challenges with the help of her friends that she makes. She makes a friend named Haku in this movie who's also like a dragon. Pretty cool character. And there's a part in the story you can't really be sure if you can trust him or not. So it's her navigating that and how to know who to trust. It's a very beautifully woven story within all of its characters. And I really like how the characters interact with the situations going around them and what that tells you about each character. Chihiro's voice actress does a good job of bringing an innocence to the character, kind of a sweet sort of insecurity and shyness, but also does a good job of evolving that over time. And I think her performance changes as her character changes. And that, I don't know, that's just a really good detail that the movie added in that enhances the experience overall. And this is just a great movie for kids and for adults alike. I think thematically it's heavy and layered when it needs to be, and I think kids are going to get the basic principles out of there, don't be greedy, don't be gluttonous. But I also think that adults are going to watch it and be able to reflect on it and come up with some of the deeper meanings behind some of these themes. I think one of the deeper themes that I pulled out of it was how we can, in the right or wrong situation, kind of become monsters ourselves. And it's not necessarily overall we're terrible, but I think there are situations and times that if we put ourselves in bad situations, we can really the worst can come out of us, and sometimes you just got to rely on your friends. I mean, for real, you got to rely on people around you to pull you back into reality and say truths about your life rather than you believing bad things about your life and acting upon those things. So I appreciated that about the movie. Overall, I would definitely recommend Spirited Away. I think it's one of those movies where if you're a big time film, like animated film kind of fan, this is one that you absolutely have to see. I don't know if it's like my favorite animated movie of all time. I think that prize still goes to Toy Story 3 after all these years. I think that was the most emotionally resonant, impactful movie for me personally. But I can definitely admire the masterpiece that is Spirited Away for what it is. Even if it didn't quite have that same emotional impact as some other movies did, I don't think that should take away from it at all. Yeah, definitely go see it. I'm going to give Spirited Away a 9 out of 10.